1633, smallpox. 1793, yellow fever. 1918, Spanish flu. 1980, AIDS. What do all these have in common? Well, two things, actually. First thing, over 50 million deaths. And secondly, microbiology. Whether you realize it's important or not, it changes many lives, and it has the ability to shrink this number drastically. The fact is that everyone has microbiology in their life at one time or another. We just need to recognize the importance of it, and it should be mandatory for everyone to recognize its importance in schools and for the general public to be educated after they have finished schools. To get a general idea of why it's important, let's take a crash course in it ourselves. There's three major facets of microbiology. There's bacteria, viruses, and fungi. First, bacteria. Whether you realize it or not, there's 10 pounds of bacteria in and around your body at all times. It comes in different shapes, arrangements, and sizes, and the defense mechanisms of bacteria are what make you sick or not. With things like strep throat or even anthrax that kill people all the time, it's something that we should recognize and view harmful. Secondly, we have viruses. Viruses are just basically bundles of DNA that aren't alive like bacteria are. They use our cells to create more of themselves, creating a destruction path in the process. They can be very harmful, and we see them in diseases like the flu, mumps, and RSV, which is essentially just poking holes in your lungs. Lastly, fungi. Now, I'm not talking about the fungi that's illustrated on the screen right now. We're talking about the small ones that you really can't see, the things that cause asthmatic reactions in people and leave people unable to breathe all the time. All of these things were discovered within only the last 200 years. Microbiology is a relatively new science. But thanks to people like Louis Pasteur, who discovered that bacteria has the ability of causing food spoilage and creating processes like pasteurization to prevent milk and wine and other kinds of food from going bad, we see the importance of microbiology. Another man that took major leaps and bounds in microbiology is Alexander Fleming, who discovered that certain kinds of mold have the ability to kill bacteria. And that mold juice that he discovered is what we call today penicillin. Or looking at the electron microscope, which was invented in 1940. And in 1950, because they were able to study viruses, they were able to create vaccinations which fight viruses all the time, eradicating diseases like smallpox or curing things like measles, mumps, polio, and rubella. None of this would have been possible if these men didn't take in knowledge about microbiology and work towards getting people more better. But right now, because of misconceptions, people aren't moving forward. They're getting sicker instead of better. With misconceptions about vaccinations, people are thinking that instead of helping you get better or helping prevent you from catching these diseases, they instead make you sick. And when in fact they are designed to help you. Immunizations have provided the body with a memory of a virus before it even infects the body. And as I said before, they have eradicated diseases like smallpox. But yet, people still fight them tooth and nail. Why? Because they think that vaccinations cause diseases like autism or other mental disabilities. But why do they think that? Because they've been fed false information. Now, having an answer like vaccinations is easier than having no answer at all, but it's still not the truth. And the circulation of false information increases the need for accurate education that much more, to prevent people from lying about these diseases, to keep people healthy and to keep people alive. And the same is true about antibiotics. Because people don't finish their antibiotic prescriptions, we have bacteria that are becoming antibiotic resistant, and there's no way to treat them. Education can prevent things from getting further out of hand. Ideally, it would be best to start children from a young age so they can learn about this all through high school and then eventually into college. And currently there are programs that provide grants and initiatives for schools to be able to do this. However, schools need to take advantage of these initiatives to build a smarter future. And for those out of school, education is still necessary. Resources need to be more advertised, and microbiology should be used to explain why. Why wash your hands after going to the bathroom? Why is there mold growing on your strawberries? Why should I get the flu shot? None of these should be real questions, when in fact they are. So in a world where only the fittest survive, people worldwide need to make sure that they are in fact the fittest. Microbes become stronger and stronger every day, moving faster than the human knowledge knows how to keep up with. When people become educated and educate themselves and others around them, they become more aware of how hazardous the situation really is. And however, that won't happen unless initiatives are taken to ensure that the general public and children know about the subject of microbiology. Think about yourself. Before this presentation, how much did you know about microbiology? If you knew everything that I said, great, you're ahead of the game. But if you didn't, aren't you glad you know now? Wouldn't it be good if everyone knew?
Very good.
Any questions?
Well, it's such a small subject.
It's very large, actually.
It's micro.
Was it 50 million deaths, all of them, or just each one?
It was over 50 million deaths. The actual number is kind of subjective because the dates are so far away, but compiling some of them together was over 50 million.
About the autism thing, what do you mean, like false information?
Like false information, as in some people believe that vaccinations cause autism, and that's not the truth of the matter. There's many studies that have shown that autism is, in fact, more genetic than it is environmental.
Huh.
I know this is stupid. Viruses are not alive?
That's why you can't kill a virus.
They're just.
You can denature it. You can denature a virus by
It's just DNA.
just how I denatured these pieces of paper from being together. You can denature a virus.
Yep.
But you
Take it apart.
but you can't.
It's DNA?
Yep. It's just spirals of DNA.
Interesting.
Mm.
Cool.
Cool presentation.
Yeah.